The interesting thing about travelling is the people you meet. And so I'm staying here in the Orange House at the moment, which is a hostel in the south of Spain, at the back of Benidorm in Finistrad. And I've come across this chap called Sam, who's doing a little bit of DIY in the hostel as it stands at the moment. And well, he's got quite a story to tell. He's one of these people that, let's say, travels a road less travelled. Is a little link there.
Might be a good description.
Yeah. So what is it that you've been doing for the last few years then, Sam?
So for the last 3 years I've been on my bicycle. I set off 3 years ago from the UK, and I've cycled now 45 countries, 5 continents, 52,000 kilometres to land me back here in Spain.
Wow, that's a long time ago. So what was the inspiration for actually, did you just suddenly wake up one day and go, I'm going to cycle around the world?
A little bit of that, to be honest. I was working in Australia for a little while. And when my visa ran out there, I flew home, didn't really know what to do. Managed to save some money. And I remember in Australia I met a few guys that were bike touring as well, and listening to their stories, and really got me inspired. Flew back to the UK, didn't really know what to do next. So yeah, kind of did wake up one day and went, you know what?
So were you a cyclist before?
No, I've been on bicycles before, obviously, when I was a child, but cycling isn't a passion of mine.
Yeah.
It was, still now cycling isn't a massive passion of mine.
Right,
but
interesting.
The bicycle is an amazing way to travel.
Right, and so can you say, we've got the bike in the background here. What sort of weight were you carrying when you were cycling?
The average weight would probably be around somewhere between 45 and 50 kilos.
Okay.
Yeah, most days.
And how many miles would you cover on an average day? I know obviously you've got hills and...
Yeah, distances do vary quite a lot. I would go anywhere between 40 and 50k in the mountains.
Oh, okay.
And then on the flat roads can be over 200k.
Wow, in a day?
Yeah, in a day.
So you're pretty fit at the moment then?
I'm probably as fit as I've been for a long time,
How old are
especially
you?
in the legs. 34.
How old were you when you started? 30?
31 when I started.
A good time to do.
Yeah,
fantastic. So what was the route that you took when you did your around the world trip?
So I started in the UK, where I'm from, and I crossed over into France, and then I basically just headed east. So it would have been France, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany as far as Berlin, and then kind of a little bit south through Czech Republic, Slovenia, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, and then into Turkey, Georgia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, into India, Nepal, and then back into India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, back into Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Australia, New Zealand, to South America, then straight up basically through South America, as far as Cancun in Mexico, so through Central America, and then flew into Madrid here a few weeks back, and took me 6 days to come down from Madrid to here, and now it's rest time.
And what was your favourite places that you visited?
I have favourites for different things. For food, Malaysia's going to be my favourite. My favourite kind of landscape is the mountains. So I'm a little bit biased. So places like Nepal and India for the Himalayas, they are just magical, very beautiful. Same as South America, Peru, Bolivia in the mountains. It's very beautiful, But yeah, I have favourite places for different reasons. I haven't found one that I've gone, okay, leave me here.
Right. Okay.
There's still always other places to see.
And as you've moved through different countries, can you feel the difference as soon as you sort of cross a border?
Yeah, a few times I can do. In Europe, I find that as soon as you turn a border, the countries are very different. The landscape is very much the same, Europe really is one big farm at times, but the landscape's the same, but the cultures change, the languages change, the people change, and I like that about travelling through Europe. It can be very different very quickly. In other places, not so much. South America, it's a very mountainous country. The landscape doesn't change too much. They all speak Spanish, so you don't really get a different language each time. So it kind of mould into one another, But at the same time, they do have differences in their cultures and the people themselves. But yeah, it's always an exciting time to change a border.
And did you find that all the people friendly on the trip?
The large majority of the time, they're friendly. I've barely had any... compared to the amount of people I've met on the trip, you know, I've had virtually no problems at all.
You mentioned that you found that Europeans were more apprehensive about...
Yeah, I think the Europeans especially, for me, after going through the other areas of the world now, the Europeans, we just tend to be a bit more standoffish from people. We're a bit scared of strangers. It's very rare that as someone I didn't know would invite me into their house, you know, whereas you cross over into Asia and all of a sudden... everyone wants you to sleep at their house or take a shower, or everyone wants to give you food. Or there are places I've been in India where 2 or 3 families will argue for half an hour to try and
they just signal you over. Say,
I will go into a village if I need anything really, or if I was normally I try and wild camp, but if I was struggling, I couldn't find anywhere, then I'd just go to a village, and it would take a minute for the first person to come and see me, and you know we can't really communicate, but I'm a traveller, I'm in their town, and darkness is coming. They know that I want somewhere to stay, and yeah, they're some of the places I've stayed in mosques, I've stayed with Buddhists in their temples, normal people in their homes, mud huts, mansions, you name it, and it's crazy.
What's roughly the essential kit?
So the clothes for the environment you're going to go into, I mean, at the beginning I tried to carry everything that I needed to carry, so winter clothes, summer clothes and what have you, but this really didn't work out. I mean, the winter stuff I might not use for a whole year. I might time it where I'm coming through and it's hot all the way, you know. So what I tend to do now is I have all the basics, you know, t-shirts, shorts, trousers. If I need to get anything like winter gear, I get it for the season I'm in, and then I give it away at the end. So I give it to a charity shop or other people that look like they need it. So it means I'm not carrying winter stuff from Australia and New Zealand and what have you, where I don't need it. And then my front 2 panniers are mainly food. They're predominantly just food. The back has clothes, and then I have my camping stuff, my tent, my sleeping bag, my stove, and really I don't have a lot more than that. I might have 1 book I think at a time, and I try and change that around with other travellers.
You were sleeping out each night in the tent, were you?
I haven't done the exact maths to this, but I'm guessing now it's about 1,035 nights in the tent.
As opposed to how many nights in someone's
out
house,
of probably maybe there's 30 days out of the last 3 years that I've been inside.
And so what was the worst place what was the worst place that you tented up in?
Wow.
Under a subway.
I've been under the roads, under motorway bridges are always pretty rough, just because of the noise. Abandoned toilet blocks, abandoned buildings sometimes aren't so nice, but I mean, with the camping for me, after a day's riding, it's really just about somewhere to put my head down, that I'm going to be safe, I'm not going to be disturbed. I go to bed with the sun and I get up with the sun, so I'm not looking for, most of the time, an amazing view, but there's been other times that I've camped, and you put your tent up, Southeast Asia especially reminds me of this, in Thailand, in Vietnam, and in Malaysia on the beaches. You camp on the beach and either side of you maybe there's 5-star hotels, and you think these people have paid so much money for this view. Yeah, I could put my tent here on the beach and have the same view for free. It's something that I really like about bike touring, when you combine it with the camping option as well. You can wake up in the most amazing places and all you had to do is cycle there. And
you were never robbed, or did you have any incidents?
Not really, I've been really good. My worst incident that happened to me probably was in Ecuador. To cut a long story really short, it was at the time where the government had put the petrol prices up and the whole country demonstrated, blocked all the roads. So some roadblocks I could get through, some I couldn't. I ended up getting stuck in the Amazon at one roadblock for 5 days. Thought I could get through if I waited, couldn't, returned, went back over the Andes, over the mountains, and halfway up there 3 guys jumped out of the jungle with machetes, and they've cut all my bags at the back where they've tried to get stuff out of the back. Luckily they didn't get away with so much. I was going uphill as well, so before I knew it they were on me and trying to hands in bags. They didn't get away with too much, and I was able to get away with that.
They weren't looking at attacking you then?
They weren't looking at my personal opinion of the thing is that they were there just for, the machetes were there for intimidation. They ran at me, slashed a few bags. And
Did you travel in Bristol?
No, I was on the other coast basically.
Because that's supposed to be quite mad, isn't it?
Brazil's meant to be quite bad, but that's the only one, and they were half drunk, and it wasn't a major situation, but that was probably the scariest thing, Yeah, the worst.
And so after 3 years, you completed your trip, did you?
This is I kind of, my first time I've managed to stop. The completion of the trip would be when I'm able to get back to the UK again.
Okay.
So I'm in Spain now. From here, I will go south, take along the coast, and then up through Portugal.
Yeah.
And then I'll follow Spain across, go across over the Pyrenees, probably via Andorra.
Yeah.
And then come up somewhere like France, Italy, Switzerland, Austria, over the mountains, and then back round. So from here, I reckon another 4 months.
Were you always travelling alone, or did you have people tagging along with you?
99% alone. Yeah, obviously I'd meet other cyclists. It tends to be, with my luck, is that the cyclists are doing this. So you
Okay.
meet for a quick chat and they're going the way you've
Right.
come.
So there's
and
quite
vice
a few
versa.
people doing world tours, are there?
There are, world tours are not so popular, but for something like South America or what have you, this is a very popular, from Alaska to Patagonia, this is a very popular
Right.
to do this. So I'd see quite a few there, but there'd be other countries like some of the stans, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan. I wouldn't see too many people in these ones. Australia, I didn't see too many, but other places you bump into people. Sometimes I bump into someone that's going my way, and
Yeah.
I've been with them for 2-3 days maybe, and then we split paths. But yeah, when I can cycle with someone, it's nice. When I can't, I'm quite happy by myself.
And what's the main thing you've taken away from the whole experience?
Overall, like I said earlier, it would be that the world really isn't that bad a place.
That's a great thing to take away. Yeah.
The news makes it sound
Yeah.
like the world is a very horrible place, because bad
Yeah.
news sells.
Yeah.
And they don't put the good stuff on there. But when you go out to these countries yourself and you go and see them, you know, 99% of the people I've met are fantastic. They
Right.
just want to help you. You know,
Right.
they're friendly, they smile, they just want to help you. You may not be able to communicate so well, but they do everything for you, you know. And I sit here now in Spain, having seen a fair amount of the world on this trip, and I'm confident the world is still a very nice, beautiful
But when you got
place.
into Mexico and Central America, it's slightly different, was it?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to go a little bit higher through Mexico, but I stopped at Cancun, and I was feeling a bit burnt out from it all.
Yeah.
The weather had been hot for 6 months straight, and then the drivers are very bad. Daily, they're passing you doing 80, 90k, an inch from your shoulder.
And you mentioned about getting sucked in, didn't you?
Yeah, with the lorries, I think I can recall 3 times off the top of my head now, all in South America, where the lorries pass so close that they pull you in and
Tractor
you
beam.
bounce off the lorry and you bounce off this way. For cyclists, some countries, Peru is probably the worst. They're really not so good.
So when you finish your trip, have you got any other big plans, or you're
No,
going to
not
just
yet.
chill out for a bit and see where
I
life
have no
takes
idea
you?
what's next, to be honest.
Yeah.
I won't stay in the UK so long. There are other countries I want to visit by bicycle, but we will see.
Oh, okay. So you'll keep on doing the cycling and stuff.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah. And how do you pay for all this, if you don't mind me asking?
This is from basically just my savings.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because you worked in Australia, didn't you? Made a good living
Yeah,
there,
so
in a wine estate or something.
The whole trip will probably end up costing me around £10,000
For 3 years.
for 3 years.
Oh, that's not bad, is it?
For 3 years.
And so that's that. If you break that down into months, that's like a couple £100 a month, is it?
If that,
No,
yeah, it's less than that, I would have thought.
Yeah. 12. Yeah. Quick maths. No, 10,000. It's about £300 a month. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, it's been great talking
Thank
to you,
you very
Sam.
much.
It's great. Another wonderful person you meet, and there's lots of people that I meet on these travels, and I might just do a series of interesting people that me and Scooby meet. But I hope you enjoyed listening to Sam's story there. I certainly did when we were sitting down having a drink the other night, and we'll see you soon. It seems like the princess got a bit bored and wants to be in the tent.
Yeah, you
wants
did.
To be on the. She's like, hang on a minute, how's this about me? I want to be digging in on this interview. What have you got to add to it then, princess? You got to look that way. What have you got? No, okay, you're not. Okay,
Not camera trained yet.
not camera trained.